Monday, Monday. I look fucking rough. Happy Aries season. Happy birthday, Aries. Happy spring. Happy new astrological year. Yeah. No amount of coffee and makeup can hide how tired I am today. So I'm starting with Elder Futhark reading for the week. So today is the 22nd, so this will be good until the weekend. Why am I so tired? Well, it's my niece's 3rd birthday today, and we had her party yesterday. And last year, last year we couldn't really have a party. Well, I'm sure you know how I feel about that, but we didn't have a party last year, so this year we did a big party, and it was a good time. I'm really happy. Everyone that showed up was not at all neurotic about masks or anything like that. It felt really normal. But it was a lot. There was a lot of kids. There was a lot of kids screaming, and I wrestled one of the boys, one of my niece's cousins, so not directly related to me, but yeah. And I woke up today with like this immense pain in my shoulder, and I was like, what is going on? What did I do to myself? It took me a while to remember that I had literally been picking a kid up and like flipping him over my shoulder and stuff. And he ran off and then came back and was like, can you flip me upside down again? I'm like, really? Fuck. So anyway, happy Monday. This will be posted probably a little bit later in the day. Hopefully before too late in the evening, but we'll see. We'll see how the internet, the internet and the technology gods treat me. So, okay. So, may I read the runes right? That's funny. Wow, that's really funny. The first 2 that came out were the same ones that I got actually in the same order for my personal reading this morning. Okay. So we have Nathez. This is number 10. This is necessity or the need fire. In the image, it's 2 sticks rubbing together essentially to create fire. Resistance to the will strengthens the will. We would have never figured out the wonders of a fire and all of the things that we could do with it if we had never been cold. A time of great friction leads to a strengthening, invention, creative, and original thought. And any time that there is something standing in your way or something that crosses your path that causes whatever purpose, whatever driving forward momentum you have to falter a little bit, it's meant to strengthen that resolve. So you could definitely view this as this whole last year. Second rune, Redo. We've been getting this one a lot for my weekly readings. This is the journey. This is the process of rites and rituals, of methodical action, the spiral motion, the Fibonacci sequence. It's a message that we're already on the journey, we're already moving forward. And it's necessary to continue to act, to continue to take ethical, ordered steps forward. It could be important to pay attention to some rites or rituals that you need to do in your daily functions. You know, if you celebrate seasonal changes, we just had the spring equinox, so do something to celebrate that, to honor that. I feel, personally, I feel the closer we can get to the cycle of nature, the more in tune with the earth we can get, the healthier we'll be as humans and as a society. There is a warning here with Redo that when things are out of balance with that natural sequence, something will always happen to right the balance, to put things back where they ought to be. If things are very far out of balance, and that something could be rather violent, sudden, I think the Redo in the murky sense makes me think of the Tower card, actually. Sometimes when we build stuff based on ego or wounded ego, or through the desire of conquering nature, especially if it comes from a malignant culture, those things might seem like great achievements on a personal level, on a familial level, tribal level, societal level. But if they separate you too much from your natural cycles, your connection with the divine, which really is here in the now, on earth, in everyday, in your moment to moment life, and something will happen, like a strike of lightning striking a tower down, or strike of lightning. Something will cause those things that we've built to crumble in some fashion. And the idea is for us to take a step back, reassess, and sometimes being sent backwards, well, backwards from our point of view, sometimes being sent backwards is a chance for us to actually move forward on an emotional and spiritual level rather than a mundane materialist level. And the final rune is Tewaz, or Tevez. I'm Canadian. English is my only language, so teaching myself how to pronounce these old Germanic and Norse words is interesting. Davis. This is number 17. Sonatas is 10. Redo is 5. Tevas is 17. This is the rune for Tyr, the war god. It stands for justice. It's the guiding star, the guiding lodestar, or the North Star. I think there's a lot of elements in the concepts behind this rune in particular that actually really point to this system and this culture originating from before the earth tilted, when the stars would have stayed in the same position all the time. Now they shift a lot more because our axis is tilted, but regardless, different story for a different time. This calls for you to hold ideals in your mind of justice, honor, and truth. There's a subtle warning to ensure that you're not sacrificing too much of yourself, maybe for others' goals or for what other people think is just. Allow me a moment. I want to see if anything pops out from the book at me. Of course. So especially because Rado is dealing with methodical and measured action, and Tevas or Tevas Tivas is dealing with order, justice, and a bit of that like analytical thought as well. There's definitely a possibility of getting bogged down and lost in analysis and details, getting stuck in analysis paralysis. Like maybe even obsessing over the things that are causing the friction or causing the distress that Nathas represents. It could very well be that you're spending too much time planning for the journey rather than acting. Thought is not action. You can plan the garden all you want, and planning is good. Planning is necessary. It's one of the important parts of Redo, for example. However, there's a very big difference between thinking and working through the problems and acting and being in the moment and putting your hands in the soil directly and working with your environment. So it's important to analyze. It's important to use your rationale, your logic. But ultimately, the message for this week is that it's Also very important to make sure that you're getting on the horse itself and doing the things. Especially since it's Aries season. So both the Sun and Venus have moved into Aries. And Mars is actually square Neptune right now. Not Neptune, sorry, Mercury. So that square aspect, the 90-degree angle between the two, sorry if you're not into astrology, I'm going to talk about it. The 90-degree angle between the two, that's friction, that's nothes. Could definitely have people being very commanding or barking or sharp or a little rough around the edges while trying to communicate their thoughts and asserting their will. With Venus and the Sun both being in Aries, Aries is ruled by Mars. That's a lot of head-centric. Aries rules the head as well. Head-centric fire and passion with our personal planets. So personal planets are the ones that are close to us. Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury. I almost forgot Mercury. And Mars is in Gemini right now. It's an air energy. So I would say this week, especially considering the reading that we just had, Nathazaredo Tevez, act. Put your hands in the soil, so to speak. Find ways to channel that energy in your daily tasks. Find ways to take this distress that's bothering you, the friction, the things that you know you need to change, and move forward with them. Take whatever is causing you distress and use it as fuel to move forward, to make changes, to discover fire. Ensure that you're holding high ideals and following your version of truth. But be sure not to get bogged down in analysis paralysis and don't stay in your head. Yeah. That's it. That's what I got for you guys. Okay. Have a good week. Happy Aries season.